A researcher wishes to study the distribution of blood pressure in a given population. After gathering his data, he finds that a select few participants had a condition which caused abnormally high blood pressures, several standard deviations higher than most other participants. Which of the following is the researcher's best choice for representing this population's blood pressure? Choice A, mean. Choice B, median. Choice C, mode. Choice D, standard deviation. Or choice E, covariance. I'll wait 5 seconds and answer the question. So this is just a question about measurements of central tendency, and that pretty much immediately narrows your answer choices down to A, B, and C, mean, median, mode, because those are the main measurements of central tendency. And you can also cross off mode in this situation, because mode is just the most common value in a dataset, and it's usually not used for continuous variables like blood pressure. It's more used for categorical data. And really, you just need to recognize that this is a question about a dataset that either has extreme outliers or is skewed. One of those two, because either way, the answer in that case would be choice B, median. Whenever you have a bunch of extra values way outside the standard deviations of the rest of the values, so outliers, or you have a skew in the dataset, so basically it's not normally distributed and kind of has a long tail. Sometimes they'll give you a graph of a skewed dataset. The main thing you need to understand is that in those cases, what that means is there are some values that pull the mean away from the quote-unquote true representative value for the entire dataset, and it tends to have a smaller effect on the median. And that's actually another question they ask sometimes, which is arrange mean, median, mode in the order that they are most affected to least affected by an outlier. And the answer would be mean is greater than median is greater than mode. Because if you just think about how you calculate the values, with the mean, you have to sum up every value and then divide it by the number of participants. So it's being directly affected, so to speak, by those outlier values. Whereas a median, you're just taking the middle value of the data set. So that one value is not going to be pulled, quote unquote, by the outliers as much. And the mode is just the most common value in the dataset. And usually that's not going to be affected by an outlier as much either. So like I said, in this case, we have multiple extreme outliers in the dataset. And when we want to represent this dataset, it's best we use something that is not as affected but can still represent a continuous variable. So that's median. So going through the wrong answer choices here, choice A, mean, like I already said, this one is the most affected by skewed or datasets with lots of outliers, so you wouldn't pick this one. Choice C, mode, again, like I said, even though this is not affected by outliers as much, it is not appropriate to use this for continuous variables most of the time because it's not a very reliable way to measure central tendency. You use it for categorical data. Choice D, standard deviation. You use this to measure the quote-unquote spread in data, the variability of it. It's just here to trick people who didn't do their biostats homework and you see standard deviation in the question and you pick something similar in the answer choices. Choice E, covariance, also a distractor. This is just a measurement of how two variables change together. So basically completely irrelevant. So bring it back just a basic mathematic understanding of what mean, median, and mode is. And you gotta have a general idea of when it's appropriate to use which one. Hope you found this video helpful. I'll see you in the next one.